Hey everybody, Scout Crafter here again. It's about 5 degrees above freezing and it feels awesome. You know, it's amazing how when you go 20 degrees below freezing, it feels like you're going to die in about 5 minutes, and out here now it's just beautiful. I mean, I could spend all day out here. Anyway, today we have 2 screwdrivers, 2 nice screwdrivers. Who doesn't like a screwdriver? Let's go check it out. Okay, today's project, we have 2 screwdrivers, and now, this screwdriver here, I got at the Long Island Antique Tool Show. It was $1. And you could see that it's crazing, you know, that plastic thing. But if you scratch it a little bit, that comes off. So, but look at this. Look at that. It's perfect. It's got a really nice tip. I don't think this was used much at all. So, nice screwdriver. This will come out nice. We know that. And this one here, this is a Ryan's, made in USA. I'm not familiar with this brand, but the handles are tight, but they're all beat up, you know. And I got this when I bought them pliers that I did, those 356/8 pliers. This came in a lot, so I actually didn't want this. I wanted the pliers, but you know, so now I got this, and I said, well, you know something, look at the tip on this, a little bit mangled, right? Yeah, so I said this is a good one. See, this is the kind of tools that's great because it's junk. Okay, so this is junk now, but that's the best type of tool to mess around with because you got nothing to lose. You know, it's junk already. It's not like you're going to screw something good up. And there's no such thing as a collectible tool. I mean, that's all, it's nuts. You know, don't let anybody tell you, oh, you ruined it. You're not. If you're going to use it, you can make it so you can use it. And right now, this is unusable unless you want to lift off paint cans. That would be good with this, but I already have a tool for that. So you see this handle isn't savable. So we're going to try and put a new one on there and make it into something decent. So let's get working. The first thing we're going to take with this Crescent is we're going to take some water, and I have this, remember this, this is like that non-abrasive or non-metallic SOS pad, but it's got no soap in it. So we're going to take this with some water and see if we can't get off some of this, whatever this cloudy, you know, whatever it is. Let's take it off. Okay, just using that water in that scouring pad, we got off all that. Now we're just going to get rid of those micro scratches. It came out pretty good so far. And what we're going to use is what I like to use. I use this Meguiar's Plastax, and it's a clear plastic cleaner, but it's nothing more than a compound. And we'll put a little bit on this, buff it up, and then we'll hit the shaft and be done. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to drill out these rivets, and there are 2-piece, actually 4-piece. There's a center pin and 2 washers on each side. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the center drill and we're going to drill into the middle of that and start a hole, and we'll be right back. Okay, now you see with the center drill, we're drilling out the center of the rivets. Now we're going to drill that out just a little bit more until this outside washer starts to spin, and then we'll knock that out with a punch. Okay, here you can see the 4 washers I was speaking of, the 2 pins, and these are the 2 scales, and they pop right off, as you can see. And there's usually just a little bit of corrosion or rust underneath here because of the wood or whatever, but that's no problem. This is your basic metal part of the screwdriver. You can see what the cap looks like here. And again, the tip and the scales. Now, this is what gets to a lot of people when they're trying to do this. You see there's 2 different angles on here. This angle is different than this angle. So, and getting it fit, this is, you know, it takes a little bit of time. It's, and you could see there's a way they did this at the factory, I'm sure, that was very easy to do for them. But for us replacing these, it just takes a little bit of time, and there's no easy way to do it other than trial and error. So let's get to it. It's an old knife maker's trick, and what you do is you put the pins in one side here, and then we put the screwdriver on top, and then sandwich it with the other scale, and we have holes already in there, and this way it hides the pins and you won't see it. You'll have a pinless handle on here, so let's give that a try. Okay, we have the blanks cut out to a pretty good shape, and that's done with some serious epoxy in there. I used a 3-hour epoxy. The longer it takes to dry, the stronger the bond. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take our little aluminum can trick, put it around here, and you see you put one side on with the tape, then wrap the other side around, and that'll give you some protection. Then you wrap it with some regular tape, but if you don't have that aluminum, the wire brush or the sanding will cut right through regular tape. So you use the aluminum can. It's a good tip. Now you know my favorite part. Remember what they look like before we started. And we're calling this project done. Look how beautiful these came out. We knew the Crescent would come out nice. Look at the nice lettering on here, huh? When Crescent did their vintage lettering, the stamping came out nice. This was done with the polish and then finished off with a couple coats of carnauba wax. Don't even look like it was used much. Polished the handle with just a metal polish. Didn't have to sand or anything. And just a beautiful screwdriver, huh? Nice Phillips for $1. It's well worth the money. Our second screwdriver has a nice story to it. Ryan's Screwdriver Company. And it was James Ryan out of Southington, Connecticut. What's so nice about and interesting about this screwdriver, well, what we did, besides replacing the handles, we used an old knife maker trick with the hidden pins. So the pins are underneath, so you don't see the top. And the reason we could do that now is because we have these high strength epoxies and things like that they didn't have years ago. So this handle is on there even without the pins. You're not getting it off. So the good thing about epoxy is it's very strong and the handles aren't going anywhere. The bad thing about epoxy is it's very strong and the handles aren't going anywhere. So if you have to take these off, you're gonna have to chisel them off. Let's get back to Ryan's and what James Ryan was about. Now, James Ryan was born in Southington, Connecticut. And in Connecticut, where they were stationed, they used to make brick chisels, screwdrivers, things like that. And what happened was, in 1930, H&D Smith goes out of business. They're the ones that made the perfect handle screwdrivers. And guess who buys the company and continues to make perfect handle screwdrivers? Yes, James Ryan. So that's why there was I was looking at the screwdriver and saying, wow, this is a kind of a high quality screwdriver for a lot of the type that were made back then, and I could see why now. I don't know what date to put on this because there are no other markings other than this, but it is a nice screwdriver if you like the wooden type handle screwdrivers. And like I said, we got about 5 coats of amber shellac on there to get the color just right, the way it was. And the seams are real nice and tight. It's always a trial and error affair when trying to fit these handles on here. But it is overall nice screwdriver. Ryan's. He must have loved his job because he retired when he was 87 years old. So there's a guy who really loved his work. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for tuning in. Take care and have a nice day. Bye-bye.